Zak Bagans has been exposed once again, apparently, because I was sent this Reddit thread that was created by someone that used to work with Zak in his haunted museum, and it just said, ask me anything. So, I took a little look at it, and the person who sent it to me just said, look at this. That was it. No context, and diving through the comments and the threads, oh my days, it does not look good. So, this Reddit thread comes from someone who just said, I worked with Zak in his haunted museum, ask me anything. I worked inside the museum. I don't want to give dates, but it has changed a little since my departure. I'm happy to answer questions honestly about my time there, the job, or Zak himself. So we're going to dive into it. I mean, there's a subtle one to start us off with. Does he smell like Axe body spray? Kind of. It's the same douchey Axe-like smell, but it's noticeably I spent way too much money on this cologne. So you can see the way that this is gonna go. Now the next question was, can you expand on the anxious tics? Do you have any specific story that circulated around what was unpleasant? Do you have any good stories about him? He kind of seems like a guy with an ego, but could also have a heart at times. Also, does he wear the fingerless gloves and in the museum? Lol, that visual cracked me up. The original poster responded with, unfortunately, I do not have a single good story about him. I don't have any specifics. It's one of those things where you watch how he walks and interacts with things, the look in his eyes, etc. It's one of those you gotta see to understand kind of things. The gloves, yes, sometimes he dressed in a black hoodie with gloves and a mask and a hat. It's 100% obvious it's him, but he doesn't seem to think so, laughing my arse off. The next one, is the museum haunted, and if so, what is the most haunted item? I don't want to outright say no, but most things seem to lean in that direction. As for, quote, most haunted, I can't say, but the energy in Peggy's room is the one thing that I felt in or experienced in a way, shape, or form. Okay? So, next question. What was he like? Nice? Good boss? What was the vibe? Right, and this is where it gets heated. He is the Schrodinger cat of bosses, meaning he is both completely uninvolved while being horrendously micromanaging at the same time. He will usually sit in his room at the, quote, black house next door and watch tours on the walls of cameras. He will chime in and bark at stuff through headphones if he sees something he doesn't like. As far as personality goes, he's a kind of smarmy dickhead. Damn. Yeah, so you can kind of see that, you know, this is not a pleasant thread at all. Kind of sad to hear he was so toxic. I think he's dealing with some serious inner demons. Sorry you went through that. It sucks because I was really excited to work there. Friends with someone on Facebook who worked there, knew her many years ago, and she posted a pretty cryptic post about him when she quit. The post almost made it seem like working with him was really bad. I always wondered if she had to sign an NDA. Yeah, he's terrible. I almost 100% sure she signed an NDA. Crazy. So workers literally have to sign NDAs so they don't kind of come out and expose the kind of guy that he apparently is, allegedly. Is the museum the reason why he won't fly? His mother is the reason why he won't fly. Zak's a huge mama's boy. He had a dream he died in a plane crash one night and his mum forbid him from ever flying again. Zak is also the type who will ridiculously dream he has to try and force meaning on it. Quote, I had a dream, I moved from this from here to here, now I have to do it. Okay, that makes sense. And then another one. Most fun tour day that you got to experience working there. About Zak, did you get the impression that he 100% believes everything that they have in the museum and they had on the show on Ghost Adventures? Or did he change when the cameras were off? Which is a really, really interesting question. So they said, all my tours were fun to a caliber. The guests were great. Once the power went out and I was forced to give a tour in the pitch black from memory, you'd think it daunting, but it was the most fun I'd had. Zak overreacts and hams it up for the camera. I can't say for certain, but the Ghost Adventures aspect seems like an act. As for the guns, nothing happened in the museum itself, but it's America, so there's a risk of shootings all over. Better safe than sorry. So you can, again, you can see how this thread works. This person's clearly very bitter about working there. And it looks like for their own security or personal safety, not personal safety, but, you know, threat of getting sued, they have deleted their Reddit page. So this is just deleted threads now from a deleted account. But did you ever feel fearful that something in the museum would follow you home? Did the experience of working there make you believe in the paranormal more or less, or remain the same? Which is a brilliant question. I've always been a cautious skeptic. I'll believe it when I see it. Working at the museum hasn't really changed the needle. So that goes to show that she clearly didn't experience anything at all. What's he like, and is Aaron ever there? Aaron never steps foot in the museum unless he's being paid to. Interesting point there. Aaron is a down-to-earth dude. I didn't get to spend much time with him, but from my personal experience, he seems really chill. Zak, not so much. Damn. Is it because Aaron believes a lot of items are cursed and he does not want to be around them, or, and then they responded? I think that's the narrative they want to push, but Aaron really reserved and dodgy if you ask about the show, which seems like a little red flag. And I guess he's gotten in trouble for revealing the reshot scenes in Ghost Adventures at the Oost, which is true. There was he basically let the cat out of the bag a little bit, because obviously Ghost Adventures, you watch it and it's almost like it's all one take, and it's like it goes through their night or whatever, but they like Aaron said that they actually reshoot things to make it more dramatic, to make it more exciting, to make it more suspenseful. So they basically called it out for being scripted, which was hilarious. Anyway, how was the overall work environment? Horrendous. The tours and guests were great, but it was a catty high school drama, and the management were a bunch of shysters and cheats who looked out for no one. There's one manager there who actively went out of their way to cause trouble to stir drama. They're the reason I left, which is a horrific work environment. Man, Zak sounds like a big POS human with all of these responses. The fingerless glove fits. Why couldn't we go in the basement? Because Zak couldn't figure out how to make money off that yet. Wow. The basement was eventually open to groups, and they were charged an additional $30 to go in. Insanity. Has anyone been caught trying to steal one of the haunted items or gone missing due to theft? Not that I'm aware of, but people try touching all the time, which I think is a big no-no. I don't think you're allowed to touch anything while you're in there. Probably number one, because it adds to the mystique of it being haunted, but also number two, in case of damages. Obviously, these things are valuable items. I was at the museum 2 years ago. Would you happen to be the tour guide that told me you accidentally saw Aaron's paycheck and it was about $1 million? That was not me, no. But if Aaron was making $1 million, it makes more sense why he constantly puts up with Zak's shit. Honestly, this thread this is so big. This thread is huge. You can just see me scrolling through it now. The amount of questions and responses is absolutely enormous. We're going to go through a couple more, and then I'll leave the thread down below so you can go and have a little giggle at it yourself. Your question's probably been asked and answered. So, does the museum/Zak have any, quote, rivals in that type of genre around Vegas anywhere? I'm guessing more asking if there's any personal beef with another attraction exhibit that the staff is aware of but isn't necessarily widespread public knowledge. No, not really. Zak is the kind of that has the haunted attraction market on lock because no one else is really going for his crown. But there are a few horror attractions on the rise in the city, so who knows what will happen there. No doubt they'll get shut down, allegedly. Is Zak outgoing or a shy guy? He's not outgoing, but I wouldn't call him shy. He's a very vain, so he loves it when people look up to him, but anything outside of that, he's very rigid and humorless. Wow. Were you there when he dated Holly? If so, did he ever talk about her? He never really talked about to the staff at all. if he talked to you, it's because you fucked something up. Right, and we'll make this the last one. Is Zak the competitive type? Ghost Hunters and Kindred Spirits hasn't been renewed on Disney Travel/Discovery, but they're pushing out Ghost Adventures spin-offs constantly, and a new season of the regular Ghost Adventures is coming out. Do you ever think Zak would have pull with the network to squash other paranormal shows that would be competition? This is interesting because obviously last year that was a huge speculation with Nick Groff, Dakota Lade, and all the rest of it. It's funny, there was a rumour among the staff that he had paid to have others taken off air so that he could promote his Haunted Museum series. I never heard if it was confirmed or not though. So those are some of the strange and crazy things that this ex-co-worker at the Haunted Museum has exposed Zak Bagans for. Obviously, it's nothing surprising in there, allegedly, from what I've heard, allegedly. I have to say allegedly so I don't get sued. But, you know, it fits the character of the person that I pictured Zak Bagans to be based off of how other people have expressed him to be. So it's interesting. Obviously, there's so much more there that I didn't get to cover. So if you want to get involved, get down in the description where there will be a link to this Reddit thread. You can go and have a little look yourself. But I hope that you guys have enjoyed. While you're down there talking about it, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and tick on my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to this channel. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed it. Cannot wait to see you in the next one. And I'll speak to you later. Peace.